Okay, welcome back. Um, Today's video, I'm going to be ranking every single killer perk for Houndmaster. Every single one. All the universal ones, all of the teachables, everything. Yeah. Okay, so I'll quickly give some context for each tier, because it's not going to be like what perks are objectively good on like any killer. This is like specifically for Houndmaster and like to the strengths and weaknesses of her power, right? So S is like I feel like S will mostly just be like the perks that are universally like really good on like any killer, but are maybe enhanced by what our master can do with them, right? Um, and then we've got A plus and A. I feel like A plus. I feel like I've separated A and A plus because A is like perks that are good, right? Perks that our master can use well, but A plus is like perks that she can use. Maybe they have like a specific niche use with her power, or she uses like especially well um somehow like ties into her kit, right? Like I feel like it'll be easier to explain the separation between A plus and A when I get the individual perk and talk about it, right? Then we've got B plus and B. Same thing. Like I feel like when we get to the individual perks, it'll be easier to explain. Because I feel like my explanation so far of the tiers has been a little bit mediocre. Um, C is like perks that are like bad, but might have like niche synergy with her power in a way. D is just like bad. D is just like don't use. And then we've got universally awful and detrimental, which is like the perks that are like literally just fucking horse shit on every killer. Um, yes, I think we will just go ahead and we will start. We will just start. Okay. We'll start from top and go down. Brutal. Before I was recording, I talked about that Brutal is a perk that's like, it's nice to have. Me personally, the reason that I, like, you see in Pufflab's video, I said that Brutal was a perk that I like using. And it's not because I think it's objectively good, it's just because it's nice. I use it on everybody. I use it on Hag. Like, I use it on literally everybody because I just like kicking pellets faster. But, but, is it objectively good on Houndmaster? No. Because you can play next to any down pallet fine. You don't need to kick a lot of pallets. And I feel like there's some tiles that you can play better with a down pallet. Like it's just like not as necessary to be breaking pallets. So I feel like there's not really any reason to run brutal. Other than it's nice, which is why I use it. Because I don't really care that it takes up a fourth perk slot. I don't care. Like I just like it, it's nice. Okay, Bitter Murmur. Um Bitter Murmur is just like it's okay. Because once you like a gen pops, right? You have search command. You can see where people are going and you can like go to them. So it's not like I feel like it has a little bit more use on her because she has a means of like mobility to get to that information. And yeah, I feel like it's I would go B plus. B plus because I feel like it's not like a super great perk or anything. But I just feel like because you can use either chase or search to capitalize on the information that you get out of Bitter Murmur. But I wouldn't recommend it over a handful of other aura perks. So I feel like a B plus is pretty comfortable. Deerstalker, I mean, whatever. Like Deerstalker is like so kind of useless. It's not, yeah. D or C doesn't really. I'd go D. No, I'd go D on Houndmaster because if you need to look for a slug, you can literally send out your chase command and it'll give you killer instinct on anybody nearby. So I feel like Deerstalker is literally like your power outclasses that perk. Distressing, garbage. Noid. Ooh, this is between A plus and S. I'm just gonna think about how I want to use these tiers. I'm gonna leave it at A plus for now, but it might move up later depending on how I put other perks. But just know, Noid is insane. She uses expose incredibly well, like incredibly well. So I'm just gonna leave that at a comfortable A plus for now. Thrill of the Hunt. I think she uses it quite well because if you need to protect a totem, you can just search to it and get there really quickly. I think because she has that mobility and that info to protect totems, I feel like Thrill can be really strong. But I wouldn't say as strong as Noid because I feel like you can get pretty unlucky with totems. But Noid, I feel, is different. Yeah. So I feel like I'm gonna leave Thrill at a comfortable A. Insidious, literally, what the fuck even is that perk? Get out of here. Iron Grasp, kind of pointless because I feel like the only time that is true, yeah, she does have that add-on that I've used. I used to use it a lot, but when Thrill was really good. That is a good point, yeah. Because of that green add-on, I feel like Thrill, ooh, maybe A plus because of that screaming add-on that kicks you off totems. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that at A plus. Iron Grasp, pointless because I don't think she plays basement incredibly well or anything. And I feel like you only really use Iron Grasp to get to basement. And if you're using it to get to a hook, just use Agitation, you know? And Agitation, where is Agitation? That's going in A, and I'll explain why when we get around to another perk. Um, yeah, so Iron Grasp is in D, because it's just whatever, like, kind of pointless. It's bad, I don't recommend it at all. Monstrous going in the same tier because basement, she doesn't really play it that well. Well, I rephrase that. I don't think she plays it better than like most other killers. She's not like Trapper or like Hag or anything. So she's not like especially good in basement or anything. So there's not really any point in Monstrous. Shattered Hope is just dog shit. Unrelenting is dog shit. Sloppy. Sloppy's good. That's about it. It's just good. Um, like you, like Snowball is arguably your biggest strength at the moment, and I feel like with Sloppy, getting those consistent injuries and keeping them injured is really good. But I feel like it's almost outclassed by her add-on. Because when you're getting injuries, like the majority of the time it's with a dog grab. So I feel like you don't need to use the perk slot for Sloppy when you can just use an add-on instead. Because I feel like her add-ons are pretty variable. Like you can change them around. Um, Spies, it's good. It's really nice because it'll give you info on people that you're not specifically looking for. The only reason I don't put it higher is because if you are specifically looking for somebody, you can just send out your chase command and it'll give you killer instinct or you can search. So if you're like, I'm gonna put that B plus. No, A. Okay, we'll keep it in A for now. Whispers. I go C. I don't necessarily think Whispers is bad on her. It's just kind of pointless, really. Like, I mean, it gives you an idea of where you could search for somebody. I guess. Me personally, I'm just not super into Whispers. So I feel like it's sort of hard for me to give an incredibly accurate ranking of where I would put Whispers. But I'm just going to leave it at C because I feel like it's kind of pointless. Unnerving Presence, does anybody actually use this perk? Like outside of skill check builds that just explains itself. Same with Bloodhound. Predator. Predator. Um, I will say Predator is like maybe the one perk that I haven't really used that much on Houndmaster. I could see how it could be good, but again, I don't really think it's necessary. But I'm gonna give it a B. Because I feel like there could be scenarios where it could be good. Shadowborn, like who uses that? Enduring, not like no. I'm gonna go no on that one because if someone's dropping a pellet near you, literally just wind up your dog, shoot it over the pellet, and they're dead. There's just no point eating a stun when you can just yeah, it's just pointless, honestly. Lightborn, who uses that? Tinkerer. Tinkerer's pretty good. I'm gonna go A with Tinkerer because you can search to the gen obviously, and then you get your dog back and resource itself out. Nurses, I'd say is less, not as good as Tinkerer, but same sort of logic. You can search or you can chase and interrupt the reset. I think this is good because you can. It's good for keeping people injured, but I think there is better options. Strider is just fucking garbage. Thana, I'm gonna go B for Thana because I feel like he can play into that whole snowballing, keeping everybody injured thing pretty well. But having 4 injuries and then having Thana, I feel like that just makes people want to heal even more. So I feel like it's sort of like it is a negative effect as well as a good effect. Dying Light, now hear me out. Personally, this is one of my favorite perks on Houndmaster. Um, I think just getting that stacking slowdown on gens and just searching between gens and like pressuring people off, especially if you're playing with like Eruption or if you've got Penty or fucking like anything that slows repairing speeds and you just keep pressuring gens with search. Like Ruin and Dying Light is a really good combo on her. Like I'm gonna put Ruin up there with that. Um, like it's just so good for keeping people off gens and like slowing gen progress as much as you possibly can. Play with your food. Uh, I'm a bit indifferent about it. I think it's. I mean, you could use it, but it's not like especially good on her or anything. I feel like haste you don't really need haste because you've got search, right? So I feel like it's gonna. Mm, I go B, bottom of B. Stabiffle is like without a doubt S tier. Like it's ridiculous, just fucking ridiculous how good Stabiffle is on her. Just absolutely ridiculous. Um, you can like her cooldown is already so oppressive without Stabiffle. It is so oppressive. Like you hit somebody, you almost immediately get your power back. With Stabiffle, they're making even less distance on you. It's just insanely strong. Stabiffle is one of her best perks easily at the moment. Devour, I feel like what you're gonna notice is a lot of like the typically good Hex perks are gonna go in A because I feel like she's really good at defending totems. Third Seal, blindness. Blindness as a status effect is mediocre. It is good against. It's good in like against solo queue, right? That's about it. I'm just gonna shove that in like B. Monitor. I don't know. Monitor is like a perk that like some people like using. Some other. I just don't see any real point in using it on Handmaster. Overcharge. Overcharge is going in B because plays into that whole keeping gens pressured, but I feel like Overcharge is kind of not that great because I feel like Ruin is sort of the one you want to go for. You don't really want to be kicking gens, and if you are going to be kicking gens, just use Eruption. And I feel like most people hit Overcharge skill checks nowadays. Overwhelming Presence is going in universally awful. And so is Strider and Shadowborn. I didn't even realize, and Bloodhound. Um, I guess Lightborn too. It's like Lightborn's not totally awful because of Flashbangs being bugged. Beast of Prey, Huntress Lullaby. Huntress Lullaby, you can make it work in skill check builds, like totems and all, but I just think it's not that fantastic of a perk anyway. Territorial Imperative, again, the whole basement thing. She doesn't play basement super well or anything. Um, Barbecue is good because I'd give it an A. Yeah, I'd give it an A because you can just use search to go and pressure people really quickly with barbecue. I think it's pretty decent. Franklin's. Franklin's. I feel like Franklin's is like, I'm going B, below the rest of those. Because you can get hits really easy, and I feel like denying items can be really powerful. Not always. Like, that's why it's in B+, is because, like, people aren't always going to be using insanely good items, but, like, medkits, getting rid of a medkit is insanely strong for Houndmaster. If you can deny a self-heal, like, jeez. Knockout, I'm going above third seal just because I feel like knockout, it's a permanent effect, right? Slows down recovering speed, hides the aura when they go down, and she's a snowball machine. It's just that, obviously, against coordinated players and people in comms, it's just not going to do as much. Blood Warden, sure. Like, I'm going B because you get basic Blood Warden on dog grabs. You get 5 seconds and the cooldown's 3 seconds, so you can just deny somebody leaving anyway. But I guess the effect in itself is like whatever, it's strong, I guess. Fire Up is getting buffed to 6% per token, and it's sort of the same as Brutal. It's objectively, people use it for kicking pellets. Like, me personally, I use Fire Up on Houndmaster because it's nice. I like to pick up speed. It's objectively not that good though. Remember Me is underrated. Remember Me is severely underrated. And it is getting buffed, mind you. It is getting buffed. I'm almost tempted to put it in A. I am going to put it in A. I'm going to put it in A. I'm going to put it above Spies. I'm going to put Tinkrit above Edgy. Remember Me is like, if you are literally just pressuring the gates while you're playing in-game, oh my god. It's just so hard to get gates open. Like, she's so oppressive with her mobility and her, like, it's just crazy. I think Remember Me is, I think it is severely underrated. Although, I guess the Obsession doesn't really get it, do they? So I feel like on comms, they can just get the Obsession to try and open the gate. So I'm not going to put that in A. I'm going to put that in B+. But it's like, I'm on the fence, okay? I'm really on the fence about putting that in A. Because you got to consider that, it is getting buffed though, like, I'm going to put it in A. Don't kill me, I'm going to put it in A. Make your choices, like, whatever. I think it's good. That's about it. Like, it's good. And I mean, you can just, like, search command to go get whoever unhooked. Yeah. So I'd give it a solid B+. Maybe an A. Okay, I feel like I'm being a little bit too harsh on some of these perks. I'm just going to quickly look at what I've got. I'm going to move Nurses up. I'm going to move Overcharge up 1. I'm going to move Predator up 1. I'm going to move Thenna and Third Seal up 1. We'll go Enduring and let's go Fire Up. Move up 1. No, Fire Up with Brutal up 1. Yep, okay. Hangman's just fucking... I'm gonna go through these perks and get rid of all the shit ones so I don't have to move them. Let's see. Hoarder, garbage. Hold on. What have we got? Septic Touch is kind of garbage. Unbound is just kind of poop shit. So's Undone. Human Greed is pretty bad. I'll put Human Greed C. So I feel like you can get a niche value out of it, getting to see aura, which like happens once every so often. No, I'll give it a B. I think it's alright. No, I'm gonna give it a B+. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a B plus because when it works, you get like permanent aura reading, and I feel like aura reading and chase is incredibly strong on Houndmaster. Surveillance is good because it's just insanely good for oppressing gens and keeping pressure applied. Bam, uh-uh. Bam is kind of pointless because if you need to play a window, I was about to call the dog Larry. Snug can play windows really well, not fucking Larry. Coulrophobia, meh, eh. It's just whatever. Pop, I think, is insanely good, but I give it an A because she has really good mobility, so hook, kick gen, do damage. And if like that with Jagged Compass is also really powerful on her. I'm gonna put Jagged Compass A plus actually. Exposed grounds, not exposed grounds, haunted grounds. I'm gonna give an A plus because she uses exposed insanely well. Tempting to give it an A plus because of how she plays with totems. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A plus because in a way it's like an extra barrier of protection when you're using totems. Yeah, I'm gonna give that an A plus, and I'm happy with that spot. Ranker, I'm gonna go A plus. No A. No, yeah A. I'm gonna give it an A. The info's great, exposed great, kill great. And that plays in with Remember Me quite well, because you can kill the Obsession, Gates, blah 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 blah. Speaks for itself. Spirit Fury, like, you shouldn't really be getting stunned, which is also why I'm going to put 2 can play and B. No, C. I'm going to go C. Same with Enduring. There's just, like, not really any reason to be getting stunned, because the vault speed on the dog it's insane. Discordance, I'm going to give an A+. Again, search, mobility, get to the gen, pressure the gen, slow down the gen, blah 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 blah. You know the drill. Iron Maiden, I think, is a little bit underrated. I'm going to give it top of B. Because a lot of people, what they try to do is they try to juke the dog by hopping into a locker and hopping out. It doesn't happen all the time, but I just think because of when it does happen, I think Iron Maiden becomes really powerful. So I'm going to give it a solid B. I don't think it's B plus material, but I think it's B because it happens sometimes. Mad Grit is just bad. Corrupt. I don't think Corrupt is necessarily that great on her because of her scouting at the side of the game is really good. I'm going to give it a top of B plus. Dark Devo. Now I am a slut for Dark Devo, okay? Absolute filthy slut for Dark Devo. I love this perk. But, is it objectively good? Sorta kinda not really. Undetectable Houndmaster is like good, but I don't know about Dark Devo. I feel like it's good for snowballing, I guess. I'm gonna give it a B plus below Corrupt. Infectious, again, her snowball is really good. I'm gonna go in a solid A for Infectious. Furtive Chase. I feel like Haste and Undetectable are like not as good on Houndmaster as other killers, so I'm gonna honestly just give this a. I'm gonna go B with this one actually. I'm All Ears. I think I'm All Ears is actually quite underrated for Houndmaster. I'm gonna give this a B plus. Like this is a very underrated chase tool. Tremors, I think, is sort of in the same boat as like Jagged Compass, but I think it's less valuable than Jagged Compass. I think the info from Jagged Compass is better than this because you can only pressure one gen at a time, and you may as well just pressure the gen that you know has the most progress rather than being like, oh, I can see 2 different gens that are being worked on, like which one do I go to? And instead of having to like use game sense, you just kind of like get that info for free with Jagged Compass. So it's like cool. And Jagged Compass, the whole Scourge, the hook thing, that goes really well with Gifted Pain, which I'm gonna also put an A plus. Gift of Pain is incredibly strong on Houndmaster. The Gen slowdown, crazy good with Dying Light. The healing slowdown, crazy good for your snowball. Um, it's just incredible, and it's just like there's so much like synergy with the perks in A plus that I feel like I can very comfortably put Gift of Pain in A plus. Let's see. Claustrophobia. I don't think it's awful. I wouldn't put it in C. 'Cause I feel like blocking vaults can be quite good sometimes with Handmaster. Like, it kind of like, yeah, playing around vaults and pallets. Well, pallets doesn't get blocked by claustrophobia. Is like a good way to play around the dogs. I feel like cutting off that sort of option can be quite powerful. Um, Fearmonger or Mindbreaker, whatever the fuck it's called now. Um, hmm. I think it's good. I think because of the synergy it can have, I think it is pretty solid. Example, Tinkerer, you search to the gen, you're undetectable, they're exhausted, they're blind, fucking chaos, right? I feel like it's solid A. Um, okay. I'm gonna take a quick BRB, get a drink, and then I will continue on with the rest of the perks. So, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. I've made a few adjustments. My chat has helped me out a wee bit because my brain is hardly working. So I have decided to move Dark Devo down to the middle of B plus, Human Greed down a tier. That's the only changes that were made, and Brutal went down to with Fire Up. Um, okay, let's continue. Let's go. Let's see. Surge. I don't think Surge is a very good perk. I think it's honestly like a really mediocre regression perk. I think it's okay on Houndmaster though. It's alright, but there's definitely way better. Blood Echo. Hemorrhage and Exhausted. Pretty mid. I think it's just mediocre. I feel like it doesn't really play into your snowball that well because it's... I guess it could. But I think a B is comfortable for Blood Echo. Because I can't justify putting it any higher. Not at all. Yeah. Nemesis. I again don't think you should be getting stunned. So I'm gonna put that at C. Because I feel like if you want to change, if you want to do that like changing the obsession thing with like rank or whatever, I feel like Gamerfoot is the better choice there. I'm gonna put Gamerfoot in B. But you shouldn't really be kicking pallets with Gamerfoot because you don't like. Yeah, I think Gamerfoot's going in B because I think the obsession changing on Gamerfoot is better than Nemesis. Zanchin is like if that's just like a noob perk, quote unquote noob perk. Oh no, they changed it. Didn't fuck my life. It's not the thing anymore, is it? It's like okay, Zanchin, I can't really give you an accurate placement. This is like the singular perk I don't think I could give you an accurate placement on. So I'm gonna put it in C because I know that it's aura when you drop pellets, which I think could be really good. I'm gonna put that B plus because you get aura on pellet drops, which like I'm just thinking like Shaq. If you're running into Shaq and they drop Shaq pellets straight away, I feel like having that aura, if you go around the side and you shoot it to the window, you can yeah. Yeah, I'm comfortable with B plus. I honestly think yeah, they could be pretty good. DMS, holy smokes, absolutely fucking insane perk. You can just kick people off gens whenever you want. Um, like insane for pressuring people. which is also why I'm gonna do. Whereas Grim Embrace, Grim Embrace, I don't think is as good, but I also think Grim Embrace is crazy good. Not S, because I think DMS is absolutely fucking bonkers, especially with like Jagged Compass, fucking bonkers on Houndmaster, just absolutely fucking bonkers. Gearhead, no, I don't really think you should be prioritizing looking for auras while you're in chase. You're just better going with something that's going to tell you what gen to go to after you hook, rather than that, because you're not like Knight. You can't like, oh, go send a guard to that gen to pressure that person, because your dog doesn't actually do anything unless you follow it. Like, sure, they'll get Hound Sense, but like, wow, that is like possibly the least intimidating thing in the game, getting Hound Sensed. Um, so I think it's. I'm also just gonna go B, bottom of B. Pretty pointless. Retribution. I'm gonna go B plus. I feel like it's on the weaker end of the hex totems that she can use. Because I don't think Oblivious is especially strong or anything on her. Um, I think it's just outclassed simply because there's always just a better option to use. There's always just a perk that's better to use than Retribution. So I'm just gonna leave that there. Deathbound. Again, Oblivious is like whatever on her. The info's nice, but I guess you do kind of really want to prioritize keeping people injured rather than punishing people for healing. So I'm gonna put Deathbound in B plus because I feel like the info is still nice, but I just think there is better. Force Penance. I think Force Penance is relatively useless because you can just dog somebody if they're taking a hit and go for the other person. Sort of like a Sadako situation where you can just like, you don't really need to worry about somebody taking a protection hit. Although, if you're camping and you're playing hooks really aggressively and you're getting broken constantly on people, because mind you, prediction hits are like really jank. They can like count in the most random situations. I feel like broken on Houndmaster is really strong. I'm gonna actually honestly go with like top of B plus because I feel like broken is really good. And if you're playing hooks super aggressively, I feel like you can get value out of Force Penance. Trail. I think Trail is alright. Trail's just alright. Like, it's good for what it is. Like, you get undetectable. And I'm just gonna go with Unforeseen and chuck that in there too. I feel like Unforeseen is better though. Like, I'm gonna put Unforeseen above Trail. Dragon's Grip. That perk is insane. That perk is absolutely fucking bonkers on Houndmaster. Um, Not only is it slowdown, but she is incredibly good at using exposed. Like, Dragon's Grip is just like, it's irreplaceable. Like, in its own way, it is one of her strongest slowdown perks. As well, like, it's just so threatening to have Dragon's Grip when you're trying to verse a Houndmaster. It's just like looming over you, and if you make one mistake, she will annihilate you for it. Blood Favor. I honestly don't think Blood Favor is good on her because you can play down pellets fine. Like, same as Brutal and Fire. You don't need to kick, you don't need to prioritize kicking pellets. You can play down pellets fine. Blood Favor, I think, is honestly just kind of pointless. You don't really need it. Undying, again, it's just the totem synergy is just gonna go A plus. Like, it's just crazy good. Dominance is going on top of A because Dominance, the info, is mainly why it's so good. Not so much even just like the slowdown. I think Dominance is just like the better Retribution because you get the info that Retribution gives you, and they actually literally cannot do the totem that they're trying to cleanse, and then it just gives you that info that somebody was trying to cleanse it there, and you don't have to worry so much about immediately going to interrupt it like you would with Retribution. So dominance for that reason is going in A. Um, Coup. Um, hmm. I think Coup's alright. I think I'm gonna go B for this one because her power is quite literally is like incapacitating a survivor in chase, so they just can't move. Um, when I think it can be good though is if someone's on a pallet and you dog grab them and they're going towards the pallet, you can swing and that could get you the hit rather than them pulling the dog to the other side of the pallet and stunning it before you're there. So I feel like with Coup, you could swing to them and get them before they get to the other side of the pallet. Oppression. Oppression is alright. I just think there's better. And I feel like kicking gens, like, I guess with dragons, yeah, I think it's okay. I'll put it in A. I'll give it comfortable A. Crowd control, again, I feel like vaults you can play pretty well, but I think it's slightly better. Because there are some windows that can be fucking painful. So I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B for that one. And I'm gonna go B plus. If like crowd control is just like what you really should be using instead of BAM on her. No way out. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go with a solid A plus on this one. She's just really oppressive, and if someone touches a gate and then you go to the gate, you can send out your chase dog to look for whoever's nearby. That's just great. Starstruck, yes. Starstruck is just fucking bonkers, bro. Just bonkers. Anybody's nearby when you get a pick, GG. You're dead. You're just fucking dead. Like it's just crazy, and it goes so well with like Awa obviously. Um, that's just so good. She's such a good Starstock user, and she has synergy with Ship Figurehead, which gives you an even bigger range, and obviously edgy too. Yeah, Eruption. Whether this is whether I classify this as S or A plus is very. I'm gonna go S. I feel like. Hmm. I feel like putting Ruin in S now. No. No, no. Eruption is S because her snowball is crazy. You can just delete generators. And your Eruption with Dragon's Grip. Fucking hell. Like, just crazy good. Just crazy good. Like, that's her. I think this Eruption. I think is her best slowdown perk. Hysteria. Again, Oblivious is just whatever. So, B. Like, most of the Oblivious perks are gonna go in, like, B plus and below. Because Oblivious is just, like, whatever. Lethal. I feel like Lethal is pretty solid. But not as necessary as you would think. Because you can just scout around the map really quickly and find people. I think it's better than Corrupt, though. I'll give it that. Deadlock. I think it's just outclassed by other slowdowns that you can pick for her. I don't think it's bad, but I think there's just better picks. Plaything, again, Oblivious, whatever, but, I'm gonna give it an A because of Penty, which is where the next one, which is going in S. Um, I'll give it an A. I wouldn't give it an A plus because in comms, people will just like smart survivors just won't cleanse their plaything and you won't get Penty. So if like plaything is like you shouldn't really be using it all of the time with Penty. I feel like you should probably be using different hexes with Penty that are more threatening. That are actually threatening, because plaything is just like only threatening up to a point. Painter is A plus, just solid slowdown. It's just good. Cooler Brian, I'm gonna give Cooler Brian a. I'm gonna give it A because the info mainly is just what makes it so good, and you can just be super impressive with it. Actually, I'm gonna give it an A plus. Pretty comfortable with that placement. Merciless Storm. Like, honest to God, do people still use this perk outside of skill check builds? I don't think so. That's just gonna go in a B for me. Floods. Now floods can be insanely strong. Floods I'm gonna put up in. I'm gonna go A. I wouldn't quite say A plus, but I think that is an incredibly strong perk. Now, this is gonna be controversial. This will probably be the most controversial perk placement of the video. Darkness Revealed. I'm going to give this an A plus. That is going up an A plus. I like, especially with like Ultimate Weapon. I said Ultimate Weapon's going at A. But Darkness Revealed. Open a locker. You see people near lockers. Search. Boom. Pressure gen. There's just like so many uses for it. There's just so much like so many things you can get out of Darkness Revealed. Like fucking hell. Even in like Chase or something, like Darkness Revealed, see people, aura, boom, quick aura, like I think it's honestly like an incredibly underrated pick for her. Dissolution, like nobody gives a shit. It's just like in the same boat as the rest of the palette related perks. Palettes are just whatever. Awa going A because of its synergy with Starstruck. Superior Anatomy, that's going in C. Because again, you can play around vaults without needing to vault them incredibly fast or anything. Terminus is incredibly strong. Terminus is going in A+. I think honestly Terminus is like on par with Nowed for strength. Like I think they're both incredibly good on her, like keeping them injured or keeping them exposed. Both really good. Terminus I feel like is less good though. I feel like exposed is infinitely like more threatening and scary than Terminus is. Yeah, because I feel like if you're healthy, Terminus is just like whatever because you have to get the hit to trigger it. Nowhere to hide. Honestly, I think Nowhere to hide is kind of pretty good. Just like constant info. Because if you want to like injure somebody and do hit and run and keep people injured, I feel like Nowhere to hide can be pretty good info. And it keeps you screaming, so like its synergy with totems can be really good. So honestly, I'm giving it an A, edging A plus. I'm gonna go top of A. Hubris, just now the stun perk. Nowhere to hide is going in A. The aura is just crazy good. It's just a good perk. Leverage, going A. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Gift of Pain, but I think because I feel like just the counter of people using Will Make It, which is like, mind you, a pretty popular perk at the moment, is just like crazy. So that's just going in A. Thwack, you don't really need to be kicking pallets again, so that's going in there. Infectious, not infectious. What the fuck is this perk called? I can never force hesitation. Thank you. That's going in A plus. That's just, it's just it's an almost S. That is an. I'm putting that in S. That's just like so oppressive. It's so oppressive. Genetic limits. A. A. Yeah, I'm comfortable with an A. Machine learning. Again, haste and undetectable is like, but for its synergy with Nowed and like end game, I'm gonna give this a solid A. Alien Instinct. Not as good as Floods or Barbecue, so I'm gonna put this in a tier below, and we're gonna go with B plus because the Oblivious is just like whatever. Rapid. Sure. Like, I don't think it's bad per se, but I just think there's like Stabifil is just like infinite times better. Batteries included, and Friends Till the End is pretty strong. Again, exposed user, crazy good. You can just search command to the person that you need to and get a quick down. Yeah, that's just a good perk. Dark Arrogance. Like, neither effect is good or bad, right? Like, the stun, you shouldn't be getting stunned, so that doesn't matter, but like, vaulting faster is just like not that important, so I'm just gonna go B for that. Languid Touch. Languid Touch, I think, is severely underrated. I'm gonna give this an A plus because I feel like denying exhaustions literally just by scaring a crow is like exhaustions are like your saving grace against a good Houndmaster. Otherwise, you're just going down in like fucking 2 seconds if you get caught with your dick out in the open, right? Like you're just going down. Um, so I feel like Languid Touch can be extremely good, especially with spies. Extremely good. Um, Languid Touch is honestly the best anti. Yeah, definitely. Like it's definitely better than Genetic. I think Genetic's good, but I think Languid Touch is just like. Actually, I'm gonna do Genetic like B plus. I feel like your Languid is just so much better. Weave with Franklin's. I think Weave is incredibly strong, but on its own is whatever. Like Franklin's Weave is a really good combo on like pretty much anybody. Um, but I'm gonna put it a B plus because I don't really want to like put them high because of their combo together. Like on their own, B plus. Together I'd put them in like A plus, but that's just for that combo, so I'm not gonna do that. Okay, Wretched Fate. Now this one might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna put it up here because that slowdown like is what the person that is Dying Light doesn't get. So it's just like a trade-off there. And then you have Pinty, and you have Thrill, you get a Ruin. There's just so much to do with that. All Shaking Thunder, again, same boat as Ku, but I think it's worse than Ku. It's going in C. No Quarter. This is the last perk. No Quarter. I'm gonna put No Quarter. Hmm. B. Because I think the skill checks are just really easy. But I think when it does trigger, it's nice. But even then, the broken is like not that long. And I feel like Franklin's is better. Like, I'd rather just knock the medkit out of their hands so they can't self heal at all, rather than pray that no quarter somehow makes them fuck up a skill check or something. Um, yeah, so that is the Houndmaster tier list. Before I finish, I will quickly go over this and I will make some adjustments. What do I think is her best perk? That is a question. I think her best perk, it's got to be Stabiffle. No, I guess in comms. Even then, the cooldown is like it doesn't even matter if the obsession takes hits because your cooldown is so fucking oppressive anyway that it doesn't matter. I think Stabiffle, I'm leaving that as her best perk. Stabiffle is Houndmaster's. Currently, I think Stabiffle is her best perk. It is just so oppressive. It is so oppressive. It makes chases literally virtually impossible. Like a good Houndmaster with Stabiffle, good luck. Just good luck. Like good luck, have fun. Like, well, good luck. I don't know. You won't have fun. It'll be fucking miserable because you can't do anything. Like you'll get hit. You'll run. You'll take like 2 steps forward, and suddenly she's already fucking out of her M1 cooldown, and she's got her fucking dog running at you. It's like, jeez, what do you do? I think Sabiffle is just like incredibly oppressive on her because of her cooldown as is. But yeah, that is the Houndmaster tier list. Um, this was very fun. This really did make me think about a lot of things. I hope this was informative and helpful. If you have any questions, like If you want me to go more in depth about any of these, you can ping me on Twitter. You can ping me in my Discord. You can leave a comment below. Um, if you want me to prove something, like if you're really, really against a placement that I did and you want me to prove something, I will prove it to you. I will happily prove one of my placements to you. But if you do disagree, and I also am like, oh wow, yeah, maybe I could move that down, I'll let you know. But if we like blatantly disagree on something, I will prove it to you if you want me to. But yeah, so that is about it for the video. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.